that in Georgia, where there are much longer lines in African-American precincts than in white precincts, that it's a crime to serve water or a sandwich, greatly restricting or eliminating early voting.
Yes, it's official, everybody. You read that right. Stimulus checks are being sent out in January. It's official. For those of you on Social Security benefits, SSI, SSDI, VA, and low income, well, if you want to receive a stimulus check, a fourth stimulus check that is, then you want to keep on watching this video to understand the latest news on how to get it. Here's how to get the stimulus check. If you receive a letter, folks, from the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service, according to the agency, it's going to be sending out information about the third stimulus checks, which were sent out last year. The letters are additional. The letters are going to be about important and very new information from the IRS surrounding a fourth stimulus check and a third stimulus check.
At consequential moments in history, they present a choice. Do you want to be on the side of Dr. King or George Wallace? Do you want to be on the side of John Lewis or Bull Connor?
The news could be about the possible fourth stimulus check, everybody. We don't know yet. The IRS has even said that when you receive this letter, do not throw it away. These letters can be very helpful if you're a taxpayer. These letters can be used when preparing your 2021 federal tax return. Also, these letters will let you know if you are eligible to receive any more extra stimulus money. This includes plus-up payments that have been going out to eligible Americans over the past few months. You can also use the IRS letter to figure out if you can claim the recovery rate credit on your 2021 tax return. This credit will only make up the difference between the amount of third stimulus check that you were eligible for and how much you actually received. Stimulus checks are not taxable, but they still have to be reported on 2021 tax returns, which need to be filed this spring. And I know that many of you are wondering if you're eligible to receive a plus-up payment. Now, there is some bad news about this. You may have missed the December 31st deadline for plus-up payments. Unfortunately, many Americans who were eligible did not end up receiving their full payment, or even one single stimulus check at all. It is really ridiculous, everybody, how somehow the IRS is actually missing out on some Americans getting their stimulus checks. But the good news is that it's possible to still receive a check of up to $1,400 if you have to get one. There were other ways that people missed out on stimulus cash, like new parents getting independent and the IRS not knowing. The thing is that if you miss your chance to claim the money by December 31st, you can claim it on your 2021 tax return. First, file your taxes so the IRS can process your return. Then the return will let you know any details from the 2021. If you had a newborn in 2021, you will get the stimulus check for the dependent, as well as a $3,600 child tax credit if you qualify. But it is important to make sure that you know exactly what you are due, while understanding any information that the IRS released about the plus-up payments and stimulus checks. If you try to claim too much or the wrong amount, it may delay your tax returns processing time, which means less stimulus checks. So another big question I've been receiving is that which states are currently receiving and sending out more stimulus checks and a fourth stimulus check this month in January. Well, every state will be receiving a federal budget to administrate the new stimulus relief funds, but it will solely depend on each state's administration to decide how to spend these funds and which different dependents and benefits will be part of this plan. Residents are chosen for the Universal Basic Income Pilot Program. It does a $500 stimulus check every month for a single year. Also, a similar program is being launched in Rochester, New York. The program aims to provide $500 payments to low-income families for the first 12 months, which is really amazing. I know many Americans could actually use some extra stimulus money right now. In the following year, a different set of families in Rochester, New York would get a $500 payment as well. Eligible residents will be in line for automated payments over the next 2 years, and the Guaranteed Income Program would cost $2.2 million. That's paid for with the American Rescue Act. So thank you again for your support, and everybody, if you have any more questions about the fourth stimulus check, please be sure to leave them. But like I said, the child tax credit payments are paused right now, so right now states are providing a form of universal basic income. This will go to families just as others are hoping to get their residents a statewide stimulus check to help cover some costs. Some states and cities are offering their own version of a stimulus payment for residents. That's in the absence of a federal one. States like California and Minnesota are just a number of 2 states offering programs like the Golden State Stimulus Program, which offers California residents over $568 million in extra funding to make it through the end of the year. Maine is also offering to send out $285 checks to over 500,000 residents, and in Maryland, qualifying individuals can receive anywhere from $300 to $500. Some states are offering profession-related checks like Florida and Georgia. Cities like Seattle are also offering payments to low-income individuals. So, I'll be really happy to see President Biden send his check out. If he does, then we all know and agree that he can definitely send out more stimulus payments, like even a 5th stimulus check.
Addressing inflation is one of the Federal Reserve's most important jobs, and if we're going to solve this problem, then we need to understand why it's happening. So if we can, let's start with Econ 101. Chair Powell, in markets with lots of competitors, are companies' profit margins generally likely to stay low? That is, in competitive markets, are profit margins likely to stay steady, modestly above the cost of labor, materials, and capital?
Microeconomics would tell you that all other things equal, you'll compete down to your marginal cost.
Good. And in markets with greater concentration and not much competition, are corporations generally able to raise prices and increase profit margins, all else being equal?
So the connection between concentration and market power is not as clean as we might think it might be. In some of the industries that have concentrated, there actually has been, sort of lower cost increases. It's resulted in lower cost to consumers, and I'm thinking there of retail and things like that. So it's not as direct.
Well, but let me ask it the other way then, because we're still kind of doing Econ 101 here. If you're a corporation that has eaten up most of the competition and cornered the market, is it easier for you to raise prices on your customers and maximize your profits because you don't have to worry about losing your business? In other words, you've lost the discipline that the market imposes.
In principle, if you don't have competition and you're a monopolist, yes, you can raise your prices.
Okay, and over the past year, we know that prices have risen because of supply chain problems, unexpected shifts in the demand for goods, and even higher labor costs. But if corporations were simply passing along these costs in highly competitive markets, would the company's profit margins have changed much?
So many things affect those that calculation. In principle, you could be right, but
well, it's very much not what we're seeing right now. Today, nearly 2 out of 3 of the biggest publicly traded corporations in the country are reporting fatter profit margins than they reported before the pandemic, which doesn't sound like they're just passing along costs. So let me ask you, does that increase in profit margins combined with greater market concentration in industry